Wow, just amazing book. Look at these photos. You just can't put this book down. Oh, hey guys, I'm sorry, just reading some impressive award-winning literature here. It's yours truly, Connor, aka OKayFabe, for another OneWrestling.com TNA Impact Wrestling review. It's been a while since I've done one of these. When's the last time Oh, shnikes. We got some catching up to do.
Audio Jungle.
Hey guys, it's yours truly, Connor, aka Ooh, it's been too long. I really gotta stop. I told you this book's hard to put down. OKayFabe, your official TNA Impact Wrestling, OneWrestling.com YouTube reporter. Man, that's a mouthful to say the least. Anyway, I want to thank you guys once again for tuning into this Impact Wrestling review right here on OneWrestling.com. Of course, the OneWrestling.com YouTube channel. Guys, if you haven't done so already, I really don't know how much I need to really stress this. I know it's been a while, but there's a subscribe and like button down there. If you guys just hit that at the same time, blammo, it just makes things that much easier. I know it's been a long time since I've done an Impact Wrestling review. I want to quickly just state for the record that I apologize profusely that I have not done one for you guys in quite some time. A lot of things going on in my personal life. Nothing bad. Don't worry. Everything is all hunky-dory. Computer did break down for a little while. However, I am back in the game, back in the saddle, and ready to give you guys some awesome kick butt. Yeah, I'll say kick butt just for the sake of just making sure I cover everything. Kick butt Impact Wrestling reviews right here on the OneWrestling.com page and, of course, the OneWrestling.com YouTube channel. Now, this one's going to have no cuts whatsoever, and I have been watching Impact Wrestling, and they continue to shine, continue to amaze me as we are on the road to Slammiversary 2016. I can't believe TNA has been around for as long as it has. I mean, it started in 2002, so we are now on the 14th. That makes me right. Am I right? Yeah, 14th year with TNA Impact Wrestling. It's really cool. It's really amazing. And there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about letting into Slammiversary, heading down that road to that pay-per-view on June the 12th, this coming, Sunday, I shouldn't say this coming, but Sunday, June the 12th, and we've got a lot of things to cover here. Okay, so this past Impact Wrestling kicked off with Matt Hardy to start the show off, looking interesting, to say the least, sporting a very new look. He does talk about how he will beat his brother at Slammiversary in the Full Metal Mayhem match, but will also make example of EC3 tonight. Of course, this brings out both Rockstar Spud and Tyrus, who are a little, well, concerned for Matt Hardy, considering the last time that he fought Jeff Hardy in the I Quit match, it was, well, this happened. His new look, his new persona, his new attitude, and it's honestly starting to scare and worry Rockstar Spud and Tyrus. So Matt Hardy, being one of, reasonable sound judgment, continues to talk about how he will destroy his brother Nero. For those of you who don't know, Nero is Jeff's middle name, if I'm not mistaken. And decides to make Spud an offer. He says, fine, if you guys want to take out Jeff Hardy and make this match not happen, fine. I'll make you a deal. Tonight's main event will be a handicap ladder match. Okay, a handicap ladder match between Rockstar Spud and Tyrus against Jeff Hardy. If Jeff Hardy wins, the Full Metal Mayhem match at Slammiversary rages on. However, if Rockstar Spud and Tyrus somehow win, then the match is null and void. But there is an additional kicker to this. If Spud and Tyrus are unsuccessful, they will no longer be associated with the Matt Hardy brand. Ooh, tough call, but we're going to get into that. I mean, and the one thing I was kind of a little worried and concerned about this one is the fact that you have a handicap ladder match. Now, again, on paper, you could just argue and say, well, why is this even a handicap ladder match? In real honesty, it's more like a triple threat, but I'll get more into that one once we get to the actual main event, because basically I went in there with some expectations, but end up getting completely caught off guard in a very positive way. But anyway, the first official matchup of Impact Wrestling this past Tuesday night on Poptv, EC3 against Matt Hardy as he is on his road to redemption. This is a great matchup. Matt showing more aggression in this matchup more than anything else, but it doesn't really stay as they continue to go back and forth with, of course, the Miracle, Mike Bennett, looking on from the entrance ramp as they do a lot of counters back and forth, and EC3 looks like he's about to get a pinfall victory over Matt Hardy. That's when Bennett comes in. Of course, the referee throws out the match via disqualification. Bennett then grabs the mic saying he just broke one of the rules that Bennett had laid out for EC3, and that means no rematch for EC3 at Slammiversary against Mike Bennett. I don't know why. I have this weird gut feeling, and maybe it's just me. You guys can let me know in the comments section down below. Maybe, just maybe, a miracle might happen, and EC3 might get his match after all. I know, ironic, isn't it? I can taste the irony in the sentence. Anyway, we are joined next by Allie, the official apprentice of the First Lady of Wrestling. I'm so jealous of that. Just so jealous of her position with the title. No matter what I say, it's going to sound bad. As she's introducing Maria, the First Lady of Wrestling, to the ring. Crowd chanting, of course, for Velvet Sky, which, of course, Maria decides to friendly remind us that she fired her. That's great PR right there, Maria, for the new position. Anyway, Gail Kim comes out to the ring to confront her, and they do some arguing back and forth how Gail Kim is accused of saying that, well, she's not a fan of the fact that Velvet Sky has gone, while Gail accuses Maria of not being the best for, I want to say best for business because it's a different slogan, but eventually continue to go back and forth, and Maria says, fine, you want an opportunity, I'm going to give you the exact same one I gave Velvet Sky. You have a match later tonight. If you win, you stay. If you lose, you're fired. As Gail is praying and hoping for a miracle. See what I did there with the bad puns and the thing with the horrible, just, I'm fired, aren't I? I just came back and I'm already fired, aren't I? Okay, I guess not. Anyway, we get Saina, if I'm saying that right, Saina, who throws her through the ring ropes to Maria. Holy cow, that woman's strength is just ridiculous. And of course, they join, at ringside and give Gail a dirty look as they exit out the ring. I mean, that just totally caught me off guard with that one. It was just unbelievable to see that. Just one moment, it was just like, woof. Remind me to never. Remember how I said I was jealous of the title, and just, if that's her bodyguard, why couldn't I be a bodyguard? I could be the bodyguard of Maria. Then I just remembered who her husband was. Okay, moving on. We do see some backstage segments, including Mahabali Shira, I'm never going to get that right, thanking Grado for having his back last week against Al Snow, and of course the Bromans trying to get on the same page and getting their game to the next level. I love the Bromans. That's a classic tag team. I really hope they go farther in Impact Wrestling. I want to see them back with the tag team championships, to be completely honest with you guys, because I think they're entertaining as all hell, and I really love their work, really love their style. I think they're just perfect for where they are right now. Just hope they get some tag team gold down into the future. Speaking of which, Al Snow takes on Grado in a street fight. Okay, this matchup blew my mind for so many reasons. First and foremost, Grado can fight. I'm not saying he couldn't, just he can actually fight. Second of all, Al Snow's physique. I don't know what he's taken, what he's doing. Is it DDP yoga? I know that's what I'm doing, but just It boggles my mind to see this man chiseled from stone or from snow. Thank you. Another bad. Just shut. You watch it. I'm very punny. Just gonna keep those puns rolling. I'm so sorry. It's been a long time since I've done really bad puns, so I need to get it out of my system. So I apologize for that. Anyway, this matchup was really great on so many levels. The first big one is that Al Snow hides behind the Titantron and attacks Grado before the matchup. I actually haven't seen that spot in forever, and I loved it. It was a very classic and simple thing to get a lot of heat on Al Snow, and I really, truly enjoyed that. You saw Al Snow basically just going to town on Grado, but then Grado coming back with all sorts of weapons, including a cookie sheet and a frying pan. And just as it looked like Grado was about to get this win, we did see Baron Dax and Basil Baraka, I'm probably saying those names horribly, help Al Snow get the pinfall and take out Mahabali Shira and Grado in this matchup. This was one of the high points for me for Impact Wrestling, to be completely honest with you guys this week, because number one, Al Snow. Number two, Al Snow. Number three, Al Snow. No, but in all seriousness, Al Snow was a big part of this one because I thought the psychology in this matchup was fantastic. I've heard and seen Al Snow's work, and his psychology is some of the best I've ever seen in the wrestling business. And he knows very well, and I think Grado was a good complement to that. The street fight was exactly the level of basically craziness and chaos that you expect in a street fight. And also the big part to me, too, was adding Baron and Basil into this matchup, or into this rivalry, really helps promote new people into this mix. So I'm not saying that I don't want to see Al Snow all the time, but obviously I don't think Al Snow is going to be wrestling on a full-time basis. I could be wrong. but it's good to have him kind of do a switch around where you have other people and other talent coming into this one to continue the feud with Grado and Shira, because my biggest worry was that Shira was going to turn on Grado, and we might see that down the road, but that was my biggest worry and concern, that eventually that's what we were going to get to, and so at least for right now, we got two guys associated with Al Snow, so this thing's going to keep on rolling and keep on going. Speaking of keep on rolling and keep on going, Bobby Lashley comes out and he basically complains about the insano lumberjack match from last week and all the fun chaos that ensued. As he continues and basically says that he should just basically be handed the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Listen, I get handed things a lot of time, okay? I get handed parking tickets. I get handed restraining orders. I probably shouldn't be mentioning this on air, should I? I think I've said too much at this point, right? Yeah, I think I should just move on. Drew Galloway, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, basically says that, well, they were supposed to be there to help break us up, but obviously I'm ready for a fight right now. And just before the chaos can ensue, Dixie Carter, the TNA president, decides to announce the official main event for Slammiversary on June the 12th, 2016. It will indeed be a rematch between Drew Galloway and Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, but there is a stipulation. That stipulation being the match can only be determined by either a knockout or submission. As they hear this wonderful news, they decide to brawl right in the ring. Security comes up, Galloway takes out all the security, and Bobby Lashley ends up spearing and choking out Drew Galloway to end this segment. Holy cow. I'm going to say this a lot during this show because this show was really one of my favorites as far as what I've seen. Holy cow. On so many levels. One of the big things I liked about this one is that they created a big fight feel, and it's exactly what's needed heading into the Slammiversary pay-per-view. I'm not saying they couldn't do that, but it's great that they did. I think they did a very good job of strategically putting Bobby Lashley and Drew Galloway in the situation where I get a big fight feel from this one, and this matchup is something I really want to see. Again, no disrespect to any other matches or any other matches on the card thus far, but I think they've done a great job of really making the importance of these two guys want to kill each other, and I want to make it rain as they take my money. It's that simple. I think that Lashley and Galloway is going to steal the show at Slammiversary. I'm going to make that bold prediction right here, right now. I mean, let's face it here. They were going to kill each other a week ago. They're going to kill each other this week, and considering that it's only going to be by KO or tap out at Slammiversary, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. We go from one holy crap moment to another one. Ultimate X match, 4-way for the X Division Championship. We've got DJ Zema Ion, Eddie Edwards, Andrew Everett, and of course, Trevor Lee, the champion. I don't know what else I could possibly say about this matchup to give it its value, to give it its praise. I mean, this is the type of action that I miss, that I love, that I enjoy and thrive, and I'm drooling, see? Got drool already coming off the, I don't know if that was from that or from Maria's segment, but I was infatuated by this one. I was infatuated by this because it's exactly what I was missing and what I loved about the X Division. The crazy athleticism, the high spots, the death-defying daredevil action that is the X Division. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Andrew Everett's stuff, to be completely honest with you guys, but from what I've seen from this one, I am now a fan. I'm like, okay, let's... More please, right this way, yes. Andrew Everett really impressed me in this matchup. What I also really loved about this was the finish where Eddie Edwards had the belt taken down and Trevor Lee grabbed it as the referee didn't see it last minute, which was always a finish that I thought TNA had or should have done in the past. I think they might have done it in the past, but it was something that I really thought was clever. It was something different because, essentially it's much like a ladder match. If the referee doesn't see it, then did it really happen kind of deal. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a noise. In this case, if a title belt falls off and a referee doesn't see it, did it really happen? So it's a very interesting little ending to it. Trevor Lee retaining the X Division Championship. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't huge on Trevor Lee at first, but now he's really grown on me as the X Division Champion. So I hope he holds it for a very long time, and I'm glad to see the X Division starting to really rise to the surface. Eddie Edwards, I think, is a huge part of that one in my personal opinion. Again, I'm glad they're utilizing him in the X Division. Unfortunately, with Davey Richards still being out, in the tag team division, as far as because of his injury, it's glad to see Eddie Edwards really kick up a notch and really keep this X Division strong and thriving. Gail Kim against Sienna. Wow, I just never want to ever ever upset these women ever in my life. This matchup was very ground for pound knockouts matchup that I really wasn't expecting. I'm not saying I couldn't. It's not that I don't think they could have done this one. It's just I didn't expect this type of ground and pound matchup between these ladies. They pulled it off beautifully. Maria was a beautiful shining star in this matchup, even though she was only at ringside. I think she's just one of the best performers, even at ringside. Remember, we haven't really seen her too much in in-ring action. We know she can wrestle. We know she can do this. We just haven't really seen her, but she is just thriving in her role as the heel for the Knockouts division in Impact Wrestling. Honestly, just great. Like helping Sienna, just trying to do everything. It was, that was awesome to me, and that was one of my favorite parts. Gail Kim actually getting the pinfall victory after a sunset flip reversal, but of course Maria beating her down after the matchup. So it's like I like that they're creating that trio of power in the Knockouts division. So again, a secondary feud or rivalry that's outside of the Knockouts Championship. So it's again great platform for more women to get more exposure in TNA, which I'm always a fan of. We have the handicap ladder match main event: Jeff Hardy against Tyrus and Rockstar Spud. I don't know why that accent just came out all of a sudden at the last minute, but okay, this is what I was trying to mention to you guys at the very beginning. I was a little iffy about this matchup, to be completely honest with you, because again, I'm like, well, Tyrus can just sit on Jeff, and then Spud can just climb up the ladder, and boom, they're, right at home, okay? No, to be honest with you, I'm very, very glad I was wrong, and I was very, very glad that the way they pulled this one off. Psychologically, that's a word. Psychology-wise, they did a beautiful job in this matchup with Spud more or less getting taken out a little bit early, and a majority of the matchup was between Jeff Hardy and Tyrus. This matchup reminded me of how good Tyrus really is. A lot of people, I don't honestly think he gets, I think he doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, and this is no disrespect to Rockstar Spud or Jeff Hardy, who are also fantastic in this matchup, but Tyrus really carried, I think, a majority of this matchup and looked really impressive to me in this particular one. And no, I'm not just saying that out of the fear of being eaten alive. I know, he follows me on Twitter. I'm scared to death. But point being is that I was very impressed with this one. Jeff Hardy ultimately getting the win after knocking Rockstar Spud off of the ladder. It was just a very nice... It was a very good matchup, and like I said, a match that I was kind of a little worried and skeptical about just from a on-paper standpoint, really blew me away and really surprised me, which, speaking of which, overall, this entire Impact blew my mind. They're building to Slammiversary, which, unless you count the one-night-only pay-per-views, is really their first major pay-per-view ever since they came over to Pop TV at the beginning of the year, ever since yours truly has been doing this right here on OneWrestling.com, the OneWrestling.com YouTube channel. Cheap plug, I know. But honestly, this one really did a good job of entertaining me from the beginning of the show to the end, but also did a very good job of making me very interested in Slammiversary. We have right now 2 matches officially confirmed for Slammiversary. We've got Bobby Lashley and Drew Galloway, again, for the TNA World Title Knockout or Tap Out, which, again, I mentioned at the beginning, the middle of this segment, was just like, they did a beautiful job of hyping up that big fight feel. And, of course, Matt and Jeff, Full Metal Mayhem, they're going to kill each other in this one. If they didn't do already at the I Quit one, I'm just saying, I wouldn't take that for what it's worth. And you can quote me on that, too. If you can find out words to quote me on that one, good luck to you. The X Division matchup was fantastic. Gail Kim and Sienna was a much better ground for pound match than I thought. The Al Snow Grado street fight, to me, was like a gem in this one. It was one of those matches where, again, really weren't expecting much of it, but to me, they blew everything out of the water, especially adding in the 2 new guys. This was just a very enjoyable show all around, to be completely honest with you guys. And honestly, Impact Wrestling has done nothing but really done, I think, good strides every single week to put on a very good product. So, but enough of my jibber jabber. I've been going on this for long enough. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So what did you guys think of this past Impact Wrestling on Pop TV? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section here below, or hit me up on Twitter, or follow us all at Twitter at OneWrestling.com. Of course, the entire OneWrestling.com family. Ooh, I can breathe again. Thank goodness. The allergies were just killing me. All of our links for all our social media are down below. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, head over to OneWrestling.com for all the OneWrestling.com fun news and material. Of course, if you hit that subscribe and like button, you get myself and you get the entire OneWrestling.com family, including the legendary, the iconic man himself, the legendary Bill Apter. Follow him at Apter1 Wrestling as well on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a long time, and I appreciate your patience, and I'm back here doing the thing that I love with you guys, which is the TNA Impact Wrestling reviews right here on OneWrestling.com. And I'll be doing this. I'll see you guys next week. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Take care, and as always, take it easy. All right, now, just got to, I can't remember where I left off. Listen, I know I've read this thing like 3 times, but look, I'm just... Oh no, I'll have to start all over again. How horrible is that? It's a great